Okay. I'm just making sure I am live with everything. Okie dokie. So hi everybody. I promised yesterday that I would do some work on our throat chakra. And the reason for that is that when I did the Transference Healing Group session on my EarthStar Temple members for this month, one of the key issues that came through was all around communication, and specifically around really working with the throat chakra. So what I wanted to share with you right now hi Samantha, hello. What I wanted to share with you right now was some more awareness and understanding about the throat chakra itself, and also give you some ways in which you can work with the throat chakra. And also what I'm going to be doing is channeling through a meditation. I'll probably do that later on today, and that's going to go, I'm not going to record that live because I want to be able to back it with music. So I'm going to record that meditation, and that's really going to support you to open up, heal, revitalize, and really extend the way that you work with your throat chakra through this frequency meditation, and really support you to connect more to your higher self. But I'll talk about that in a moment. And I'm going to put this meditation, this frequency meditation. I do want to make a distinction that it's not just any sort of meditation. It's a very specific type of meditation. And I'm going to be placing it into the EarthStar Temple portal. So if you're an EarthStar Temple member, I'm hoping to get that up ready for you guys within the next 24 hours. And I feel that's really, really going to support you to really open up, re-energize, revitalize your throat chakra. So let's just talk a little bit about what actually, what does the throat chakra do? Now, it works in many different ways, and there's quite a lot of complexity to it. And it is an absolute vital chakra. And I just also want to say that each chakra does not work in isolation. So, it's really about getting alignment between all the chakras. But because this month I feel is so much going to be around communication, and you're going to see in a moment as I start talking more about it, how that all links in with everything that's going on globally for us right now. So it's absolutely perfect to support us where we are within all of that. Now, some of you may already kind of intuitively feel that your throat chakra is blocked, or you've got distortions there. Maybe you feel you've got past life wounding around your throat chakra. For some of you, you may feel that your throat chakra is okay, but that you want to, work more with it. Because remember, on a spiritual level, your throat chakra is very, very deeply connected to your ability to connect to your higher self, to be able to channel and be able to commune and connect into the spiritual world. It acts like a bridge, basically, between the physical world and the spiritual world. So many of you may be feeling that you're wanting to, develop more and work more with your throat chakra in terms of its spiritual and energetic abilities that it that it can enhance and provide for you through that. So let's just look at the throat chakra just on a foundational level. So the throat chakra, actually, let me just tell you exactly what, kind of what a chakra is, because some of you may not even really understand what a chakra is. So chakra is like a vortex, a spinning vortex, like a spinning wheel of energy. We have 7 main chakras, but actually we have hundreds and hundreds of different chakras, but we have 7 main chakras, which most of us, that's what we're working with. And then we have 5 like higher chakras, and that really starts to kick in once you're really working on your spiritual journey, you're really working with your destiny and purpose, your soul's purpose, and you're very, very passionate and dedicated about your journey. However, saying that, you will always go back to working with your 7 main chakras. It's not like, you kind of tick them and then that's it. You kind of leave them. There's always a continual, like a layering process with all of this. So these spinning vortexes, as it were, these chakras literally pull in energy from the universe, and they feed the organs and the areas that are related to where that chakra is. But they also have a very, very profound connection to your emotional states through the glands that is connected to that area, and also to your psychological mental state as well. So they really, really do orchestrate the very essence of your being and support you energetically and physically through that. So another way to say that is, if you have blocks, distortions, wounding, kind of negativity, within any of your chakras, it means that there is not enough universal energy and prana being fed into that area, which eventually creates like a state of dis-ease, i.e. you're out of balance. And so therefore those organs, those areas aren't being fed enough energy to support them. So if you are unsure, if you have got a blocked chakra or a chakra that is not working to its fullest capacity, one way to kind of work that out is to see whether you have any physical issues or disharmony or imbalances in that area, and that will probably indicate that there are issues with that chakra. So let's have a look at the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is exactly where it says it is, which is round by the throat. And it really covers the whole of the throat, the neck, the shoulder area, the mouth, the jaws, the sinuses, and the ears. So any of these areas, any of these organs, whether that's your also inner ear as well, anything around those areas, will be getting impacted by your throat chakra. The glands that are associated with that are the thyroid and the parathyroid. Through that. So if you're looking at physical imbalances, we're looking at hearing issues, tinnitus, middle ear, inner ear, mouth, jaw, sore throat, also colds, flus, anything along that line. So we can see already that there is, where that link comes in, and why that, hi Gloria, and why that, hi Teresa, why that came in for the group globally, because what is happening at a global level. And And so, you know, as we look at that, by working with your throat chakra will support to bring more energy from the universe, more prana to feed, nourish, and rebalance your throat chakra. So that's purely on a physical level, right? So the key words for the throat chakra are expression, creativity, and communication. So if you feel you have any issues around that, they probably have got some distortions or blockages in your throat chakra. So by working with your throat chakra will really, really support you over time to work through that. Now, the sort of Sanskrit name for the throat chakra is, excuse me if I pronounce it incorrectly, is Vishuddha. And that basically means like purity. So think of the throat chakra as your ability to sift through negativity, release it and let it go. And this is where a lot of the issues can come around. And the reason for that is that when the throat chakra gets blocked, now the throat chakra can get blocked for many, many reasons, but often we're looking at inner childhood wounding, around communication, around learning abilities, around being told you're not good enough or being misunderstood, not being acknowledged for what you're saying, not being believed. When you say something, you know, people not believing what you're saying is true. And also a lot of it comes from past life wounding. Now remember, when we're talking about a lot of this wounding, and most of this wounding is subconscious. We're not talking about wounding as in a rational, you know, you're aware of that wounding, although some of you may well be. But a lot of the wounding is subconscious. You don't even know where it comes from. So this is where a lot of the issues play out because we can't even get hold of where it actually comes from. So when we're dealing with purity issues, it's around the throat chakra supports us to when it's functioning at a very high level, it supports us on a continual basis to release and let go like more negative, heavier thoughts or emotions that do not reflect who we truly are, that are not a reflection of our highest possible vision of ourselves, that are not a reflection of our divine self, shall we say. And so that is one of the functions of the throat chakra. Now, if we're not releasing those emotions and those thoughts in a positive way, one, because we're not even aware that we've got them, because we're not doing enough going within and not doing enough introspection, which, by the way, meditation is fantastic for. One of the things I would hi Simone, and one of the things I would highly recommend that you would do right now, especially as so many of us are in isolation and we can't do, you know, we have more time, shall we say, this is the perfect time to really work, you know, spend time to meditate on a daily basis, 2 or 3 times a day even, and to go into states of introspection, of going within and connecting with what is going on for us. That's really, really important right now, because through that process, you're going to be able to kind of sift through perceptions, ways of thinking, negative thoughts and feelings that you didn't really connect with, that you were actually having. And that is all the functional, one of the big functions of the throat chakra is to support you to sift through all of that. So that you create a beautiful flow between your heart center going up into your third eye. But now what happens for most of us is it kind of creates a bottleneck. And actually, when you think about it, it's quite funny because generally our necks are much narrower than our head, and so it almost is like like a bottle, as it were. And so it can create a real bottleneck, and then that can create a lot of pressure, like internal pressure that builds and builds and builds and builds over time, because we're struggling within ourselves to purify and clear these unresolved emotions. So I hope that's making sense to you guys, and hoping you can see how important it is to work with your throat chakra so that you can unblock, unblock it, revitalize it, heal it, open it up so that it can function in this way of being able to release energy, so that you can resolve those emotions. Now remember, so much of it is at a subconscious level. This is what I want to really highlight for you. And so that's why, again, introspection and being really aware. Oh, I'm glad, Gloria, it makes sense for you. And really being able to connect into those emotions and those perceptions in the moment. That's what's really key, is catching it in the moment. Because it's only in catching it in the moment that you can really have the power to shift it. Right? And of course now, because so many of us are kind of confined in our family units, there's great, Samantha, I'm glad that makes sense for you. Because we're in our family units, there's a lot more triggers for us, because there's no escape. So, whereas often we might just avoid what's going on for us by going into some sort of escapism in some way, or just getting out of the house, avoiding the person, we're kind of more forced to deal with it. But really the way that we deal with it is by going internal, not by projecting it out, because then you're not actually resolving those emotions that you're feeling. Now, let's just look at some of those emotions that may come up for us with this chakra. So you may find it difficult to express yourself emotionally in a healthy way. So you might get quite aggressive in the way that you express yourself, and that's because you're connecting to those emotions, and you don't really know why you're feeling those emotions, but you're feeling those emotions, and then it kind of just all blurts out in an unbalanced way. Now, you may be able to. It may be that you're struggling to verbalize your thoughts. It may be that you struggle a lot with miscommunication in relationships in general, or with a specific person. Often that's because there's karma related to that. Maybe you're finding it difficult to be honest with yourself and honest with others. Just being honest with what you're truly feeling and thinking. Maybe you're quite introverted and quite shy, and you struggle to express yourself or just to say no. Empaths can have that a lot, where they just struggle to create those boundaries and just to say no for fear of upsetting somebody else. Maybe you could be quite secretive. Maybe you feel you're being ignored or constantly feeling misunderstood. Maybe, and again, anything on a physical level, like sinus issues, colds, flus, you're constantly getting issues around this area. It can also create high levels of anxiety and stress. Again, that comes from that's okay, Brown. Hi. That comes from like a build up of pressure. Like you think that bottleneck is building up, because you're not releasing in and clearing in a healthy way your throat chakra. And so it's backing up. That then creates, it can create stress, anxiety. It can also create over time suppression and depression as well, because you're literally putting a lid on all of those feelings, on everything, in a desire to try and look balanced and feel, like everything's in control, where actually it's not, because it's all backing within you energetically. So it's also around your ability to speak your truth. Now, this is really, really important, and I'm seeing this a lot more with light workers, especially at this time, because of this time of global awakening right now. So many of us are now being pushed, however you want to look at it, to step up, stand up in our truth, speak our truth, not in an aggressive way, but just in a balanced and in a heartfelt way. Because we have a truth to share, basically. But if you cannot do that in your own immediate environment, and again, that's why I think at the moment we're in this sort of learning thing, because if you cannot do that within your family and those in confinement, there's no way you can do it with others around you. It's almost like you have to template it within yourself. So first of all, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to connect in with what you're truly thinking and feeling. Not what you think you're feeling and thinking, but what you're actually feeling and thinking. So again, that's all to do with opening up the throat chakra. Then you have to be honest with yourself and accept, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, and be okay. Don't judge yourself for that. Just accept that and put it into a heart space through that process. And then if you feel a need that you need to say something and express whatever that is, then it's learning how to express that in a balanced and a heartfelt way. But you're going to struggle to do that unless you've come to a state of acceptance and understanding and resolve those low emotions within yourself first. Yes, Gloria. So that you're saying that's exactly what's happening with you. Yes, you have to live it first yourself before you can then work with it and support others through that, right? It makes sense. You've got to template that within yourself. And again, I feel that's what it's this whole time right now, as we're going for this massive global awakening and rebirthing process. A lot is around the throat chakra, and that is why I'm doing this live to support people, and also going to be channeling through a frequency meditation that's going to specifically work with the throat chakra, and something that I'm going to suggest you literally work with every day if you feel that this is going on for you right now and you're resonating with what I'm saying. So this is just on a very fundamental, foundational level, guys. I've not even gone into the spiritual aspects yet. So you can see how much there is to it within all of that. Now, I want you to look at the throat chakra. Is really, we talk about communication with the throat chakra and expression. But what does it really mean, communication? Well, it's to commune. Now, to commune is literally to become at one with something. So your ability to commune is your ability to express yourself at one, not only within yourself, because you are at one with yourself, you understand who you truly are, you understand and connect with your feelings and your thoughts, and can resolve any of those lower negativity stuff which comes up, right? It comes up for everybody. No one's exempt from that. It's just learning how to work through it in the moment and to put processes in place to support you to do that. And then it's through that to be able to commune with others around you in an unconditional way, through love, basically. So you can see how there's different aspects to that, different stages, as it were. And as you go through one stage, then it's the next stage. So the first stage is just even having an awareness that there's unresolved stuff, and you're needing to purify, release, and let go. So just that awareness. Then the next stage is like being able to connect into those emotions, and then and those lower thought forms, and then knowing how to actually release them and how to clear them and go through that whole process in of itself. And then the next stage after that is once you kind of got into a rhythm with that, because again, it's not just a one-off, it's a constant working with that. Then once you get through that process, then it's your ability to commune with others through love. Okay, so being really clear if it's the right thing to express whatever it is you're wishing to express, and if it feels the right thing to do, to be able to do that, but to do that with love. So that's purely on that foundational level. But and also to say, so that's communication on that foundational level. Now, also the throat chakra is also linked also with the expression of creativity. So there is a very strong connection between your throat chakra and your navel chakra. The two work very closely together. So your navel chakra works very much with birthing of emotions, birthing of creativity, birthing of those higher emotions, whereas the throat chakra is the expression of that. So the expression of your creativity, the expression of those higher emotions of joy, love, peace, bliss. Right, so you can see how the two work very closely together in that relationship. And so that expression of creativity is really important to get that flow, going through that. And creativity can take so many forms. But again, if you're blocked in the throat chakra, it may really be blocking your ability to create. But then let's take that one step further and think about your ability to be a co-creator, right? Because each one of us are co-creators. We create, to really a large extent, our realities. And so your throat chakra is a big part of that, right? And so again, by working with your throat chakra, it is going to support you in that manifestation process. It is going to support you in your ability to manifest the reality that you wish to see, that is in alignment with your higher self. So also the throat chakra also links to sound, and so anything that's to do with sound, whether it is an audible sound or an inaudible sound. And often it's the inaudible sounds that are really, really important, especially when we're working with the higher chakras, especially when we're working more with our purpose, our destiny, and we're much more on that spiritual path. It's those inaudible sounds, which really working more with a clairaudience, that we get a lot more impacted by. It's like when people speak and talk, they're saying something which you're computing at an audible level, but actually, what's the frequency behind it? That's what's really important, right? It's the frequency behind it, which is why I always make a distinction with the meditations I do, and I call them frequency meditations, because there is a frequency, there's an inaudible frequency behind those meditations that when you listen to them, you are absorbing. And I'm going to share this with you because it really made me chuckle this morning. I was looking at my feed on my Destiny Mastery program. which is a program that a private program that I'm working with a group of people. And one of them was saying, is it possible to get addicted to my frequency meditations because they're just wanting to listen to them all the time? And then someone says, oh, maybe we should have a meditation anonymous group once the Destiny Mastership program finishes. And it really did make me chuckle. And I haven't written back to them yet about that, but the reason they're feeling that, the reason they're kind of wanting to listen more and more to these frequency meditations, is that when they're listening to them, they are absorbing, okay, there's information there, but actually the most potent part to it is they are absorbing the frequency behind that. And the frequency behind it is the frequency, the transference frequency. And that transference frequency is that transference effect, which is it's like an energy that literally transfers you from one state of being to another. And it's the energy I run. It's a transference healing energy that I run. And so that's always, that technology is running through all the frequency meditations that I channel, which is why people, when they listen to the meditations, it kind of completely knocks them out. They can fall asleep. They just kind of go really altered. And that's really important. That's a really good part of it, because it's making them alter, which means they're able, that their rational brain is not blocking it, because they're going into more alpha, delta states, brainwave states, where you're so much more receptive to pull those frequencies in. And a big part of that is the throat chakra. And the reason for that is the element that the throat chakra works with is ether. And again, we work a lot with ether in when we work with transference healing. So whenever I facilitate a frequency meditation or facilitate a transference healing group session, which I do once a month with my EarthStar Temple membership, is that the ether is starting to be absorbed. But it's like you can't, with ether, it actually has to come through divine will. You have to go into a state of receptivity to be able to pull it in. So what we work with transference healing is to get you into, to support you, to get you into those states of receptivity, so that you can open up to receive the prana, to receive the ether. It's like you can't channel it through. It's like you have to be open up to it. And a big part of that process is through the throat chakra, because as the throat chakra opens up, you're more able to absorb those higher frequencies of light, which is prana, those higher frequencies of prana, which then create an alchemy, a really deep alchemy within your body and consciousness. And that is why it's, so important, especially when you're working with physical issues, because what it's doing is it's pulling in those higher frequencies of ether and prana into your body, which then allows your body to self-heal through that process. But you have to be open up through that throat. So I hope that's making sense through that. So let's now look at what it means on a spiritual level. So let's go back to that ability to commune, to connect. So not only connect with others, commune with others, but it's also a connection to the spiritual realms as well. So one aspect of that is the connection to your higher self. Right, which is so important. So your higher self is like a reflection of your divinity, of your pure potential. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. That's really sweet. Really appreciate that. And so your higher self, your ability to connect to your higher self and pull your higher self through comes through, a big aspect is through your throat. Because whilst you're holding blockages and you're not working through those lower emotions, lower thoughts and perceptions, you can't even access your higher self. It's just not going to happen. So your life is orchestrated by your higher self, but you're not actually able to really connect in and pull through and pull down your higher self so that you can live and be your higher self. You see how that connects? It's really, really powerful, right? So that's really, really important on that spiritual level. It's also, and I did touch on this earlier, is that your throat chakra, along with your third eye, there's a big connection between your throat and the third eye. Along with your third eye is your ability to really co-create your reality. Now, a lot of that is through your third eye in terms of your ability to create holographic realities. Now, a lot of this, each thing I'm sharing with you, I could then do just a workshop on each one. So I'm just going to touch very briefly on it, but it's going to give you a good overall understanding around that. And so your ability to connect and absorb those higher frequencies of life through your throat chakra supports you to create those holographic realities for you. So again, in terms of manifestation, in terms of your ability to co-create your reality, your throat chakra is really, really key, right? Really, really important. It's also for your destiny and your soul purpose really important, because remember how I said you birth those higher emotions through your navel chakra. It's your throat chakra that expresses those higher emotions. But if you are not able to express those high emotions, which is your soul emotions, you are not going to be able to really walk your destiny path or work or really become your soul's purpose and live it and be it, because you're not expressing it right. You're not expressing it. So so again, opening up more and more your throat chakra so that you can purify. Remember, the throat chakra purifies those lower emotions and those lower feelings. As you do that, you're going to be able to then express those higher soul emotions and those words, communicate it out into the world, which therefore means you are living your soul's purpose, because living your soul's purpose is really living those higher soul evolved emotions, and living your destiny, which is really more about how you express yourself in the world and how you share your gifts and talents out in the world. But if you can't, sharing it means through here, whether it's the written word, whether it's expressing it, whether it's painting it, whether it's drawing it, whether it's writing it, all delegated via this, right? Oh, I'm glad you're loving it, Fiona. I'm glad you are. So just to say that this live, I'm going to keep it up for about, a couple of days. Then I'm going to take it down and I'm going to be putting it into the EarthStar Temple. So it will always be there for the EarthStar Temple members. It's like a throat chakra, mini workshop as well, but I just wanted to offer it for free for everyone else just for the next couple of days, because it is so important to understand it. Well, one, I want you to have awareness around it, but then awareness is only one half of it, right? You've actually then got to implement it and work with it. And I feel it's one of these things that you're going to want to listen to over and over again, because you're going to hear different things each time, depending on where your level of awareness is. And again, The throat chakra is your ability to listen and hear. And again, this is why so often, I cannot tell you the amount of times people in my membership site and on my program say to me, oh my God, I've just listened to this again, or just listened to this frequency meditation again, Chloe, or I've just listened to this workshop again, and I've heard so many things that I didn't hear the first time. It's like I'm listening to it at a whole new level. And the reason for that is because it comes down to your throat chakra, and it comes down to your ability, to your perception and understanding at that time. So each time you make a shift of consciousness, each time you kind of put on different pair of glasses, as it were, and you open up, when you re-listen to something that's got a lot of energy and frequency behind it, you will hear and comprehend at a whole new level. At a whole new level. It's like when you read a book that's got a book that's channeled and got a lot of energy behind it. Each time you go back, you see it, you experience it in a whole new way. Again, it's because you've shifted your consciousness and your ability to receive and listen audio, but also in audio, the different frequencies enables you to get it at a whole new level, which is why, again, I suggest with any channel workshops, frequency meditations, you'll want to go over it over and over again each time you get drawn, because you will hear something different, you will absorb more because you'll have shifted perception, shifted frequency. Again, it's like a layering process, right? And you'll already be getting this already just in what I'm saying right now, because there's frequency coming through. Simone says she's resonating with everything. Guys, every time I tend not to do too many lives, but I have been really pushed right now to support people. So I am doing a few more lives, because every time I do a live, it's, if I was just talking like me personality, Chloe, it would be really easy. But in the build up to doing every single live, in the build up, I have to go through a process. I have to clear and open up my channel each time. I have to purify. So that the energy can flow through more in that process. So it's not an easy process. It's not just about getting up and talking. For me, it's pushing me to channel more as I can possibly in the frequencies that come through within all of that. So that's really all around perception and understanding, and how a lot of that is delegated via the throat chakra, but also your third eye. And so globally, that's a lot of what is happening, is that there's shifts around the throat chakra, which is supporting people to really open up more through that. So let's have a look now at how you can unblock it and how you can work with it. Now, one of the most effective ways is through working with crystals. Now, remember how I said that working with crystals, or should I say how I said that a lot of the throat chakra is a lot around sound. But a lot of the sound, yes, is audible, but actually so much more is inaudible. But yet it is still impacting you, because you are an energy being. So you are being constantly impacted by inaudible frequencies, by frequencies all around, which is why for a lot of people, if you're sensitive clairaudiently, it can create a lot of issues, especially when you start to open up more of your clairaudience, because a lot of emotions come up as you're opening up your clairaudient channel, and it becomes really overwhelming. and really disorientating, and it can create a lot of issues, because you're opening up, you're pulling up all those emotions, all that negativity, because you're constantly having to purify. And if you don't know how to clear in the moment, or if you don't know how to work with it, or even understand that's what's going on for you, you can really create a lot of dynamics around you, that create a lot of issues, basically, through that process. So yeah, just to be really aware of that. So crystals resonate frequencies, especially when you squeeze them on a physical level, because there's that piezoelectrical effect to them. But I also want to say that when you're working with crystals, you don't have to physically work with it. It's the energy that you're connecting to that's the most important. Now, there's a lot of crystals that work with the throat chakra, but I've just chosen 2 because there's so many of them. So I feel one of the most important crystals is turquoise. So I'm hoping you can see that. Okay, that's a really beautiful piece. Look at that. Just connect into that, the energy of that turquoise, and how that feels as you just connect into it. So the turquoise crystal, hope you can see that. Many indigenous cultures have worked throughout the ages with turquoise, because it's such a powerful healing stone. So it works extensively with the throat chakra and really helps to expand your self-expression. And one of the big things it does, remember how I said the throat chakra really works with the element of ether? And so what the turquoise does is it supports you to open up your throat chakra so that you can absorb more ether. As you absorb more ether, it's going to really help. As you absorb the ether is going to support you to really rejuvenate and balance more of your body. Now, if you want to know more about that, I did a whole crystal Merkaba grid journey to Glastonbury, to the sacred site of Glastonbury, where I talked a lot about prana and ether and the ability to balance up all those 5 elements. So if you're an EarthStar Temple member and you want to know more and you want to work more with the 5 elements, which includes ether, which is that mysterious, elusive element, and want to know more about that, then I'd highly suggest you work with my crystal Merkaba grid journey in the EarthStar Temple. So by tuning into the turquoise, it really helps to open up the throat chakra so that you can attune more to your higher self, to receive more downloads, receive more inspiration. Okay, Samantha. Yeah, very grounding and soothing. Yeah, it's really, really soothing. That's right. It's a very healing and soothing crystal. Also helps you to better understand your thoughts and feelings. So remember how I said that the throat chakra is a lot about purity and being able to sift through those lower emotions. So that's where the turquoise can really support you to do that, and will help us to rejuvenate and to heal. It's also really good for opening up clairaudient abilities and to be able to channel sort of ancient knowledge from your past lives, right? Because many of you will have had past lives, but it's your ability to be able to channel through it and then also embody that as well. So that's the turquoise, and the other one is kyanite. I love kyanite. You see that I'm wearing a piece of kyanite. It's one of my favorite necklaces. So like here's another piece of kyanite here. You can have all different colors. I have some black kyanite as well, but the blue kyanite specifically works really well with the throat chakra. And it really actually, one of the things that kyanite does really, really well is actually realigns all of your chakras, which is really, really beneficial. Because remember how I said right at the beginning that each chakra does not work in isolation. They all do work with each other. So having an alignment between them all is super, super important through that process. It really opens up again the throat chakra and helps for, express how you express yourself, supporting that process, so how you commune and communicate with others. And it also really works with the clairaudient, open up your psychic abilities, opening up your clairaudient abilities so that you can commune and connect to different to more to the spiritual realms, to light beings, to cosmic beings, as well as to your higher self. So like kyanite acts as a bridge. It acts as a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual world. So it's like a connector. So it's really, really good for that. So the ways I suggest that you work, and actually any blue crystal would be really good, but I just wanted to go a little bit deeper into those two crystals. So crystals really, really work very well. I'm working with crystals, and there's many, many ways that you can work with your crystals, right? Through that. So one is to wear them as jewelry. One is just to carry them, one is to meditate with them, another one is to make like gem elixirs, many different ways through that to work with it. But really understand that the most important thing, especially when you're working with crystals, is not like, like wearing a crystal. It's not the fact that you're wearing the crystal that is making it work for you. What's making it work for you is your energetic connection to that crystal. So when you wear a piece of jewelry, crystal jewelry, it's the very fact that you're connecting in and saying, oh, I need that energy today. And when you put it on, just connect into that crystal energetically, will really, really support you. Now, in my EarthStar temple, I have a crystal connection meditation that you can use anytime you want to connect to any crystal. So the crystal connection meditation is to use with any crystal you want, so that you can connect energetically to it. So what I would suggest, if there's any crystals, you could even just use the internet, just Google like blue crystals or crystals for the throat chakra, and then just even looking at the image of a crystal will support you to connect in. And then you can use my crystal connection meditation, frequency meditation, listen to that while you're looking at that crystal, is going to support you so much. If you don't have that crystal, if you cannot get hold of that crystal, because of course at this moment in time it's difficult to go out shopping, you may be able to get them online. I don't know, it depends where you are, but what I'm saying is you don't even need to physically have that crystal. Just making that connection to it energetically is really the most important thing. Also, what you can do, anything to do with sound, like audible sound, so like toning, mantras, using crystal bowls or listening to crystal bowls. We also have the dolphin cam up for this week, so even listening to dolphin sounds, I feel really support this area, or whales as well. Listen to whales. Sound will really, I feel, support that. Humming, chanting, singing, all of these will support the opening up. But I feel one of the most powerful will be working with crystals, and working with meditation as well, so much, because it's going to support you to go within, go introspection, i.e. be able to place your awareness within. Most people really struggle with this, and what I feel a lot of this self-isolation is about is pushing us to take time out, because we've got time, right, to go within. Really, really important. So meditation is going to support you to do that, but also if you work with frequency meditation, i.e. there's a frequency behind it, then you're going to be able to connect to those inaudible sounds, which are going to feed more that area. So what I am going to do is I'm going to channel through a throat chakra meditation that's going to work with these crystals. It's going to work with different frequencies to really support, to open up, to clear, to heal and revitalize this whole area, the whole throat chakra, so that it can work with all of that. And I'm going to place that into the EarthStar Temple membership site, so that you can use it as often as you feel drawn. And because this month is so much around communication, expression, expressing your higher self, expressing your truth, expressing your authenticity, who you are, and sharing that with others, especially as light workers, then I feel working with the throat chakra is going to be so important. So it's probably a meditation that you're going to feel drawn to doing literally on a daily basis, I feel, right now, because of where we're at globally with all of that. So I hope that's been useful to you guys. So this will be up. You might want to watch it several times. This will be up for the next couple of days, and then it's going to be placed in my EarthStar Temple membership site, along with the throat chakra frequency meditation as well. Okay, take care. Lots of love to you all. Take good care of yourself. Really take time out, I feel, to meditate, to ground, to look after yourself, and to look after your loved ones, so that you really can vibrate at that higher frequency. Okay, take care. Bye.